president of Rwanda, Malema. Hello guys, my name is Efosa. Today I will be showing you a video where the president of Rwanda decided to answer Malema. He said, "We are not truly human." So before I show you the video, please give a thumbs up, like our video, and please share our video. If you have anything concerning this what the president of Rwanda said, please leave it below. Okay, so let me just show you the video. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.
The kingdom, something to do with the migration. I know it has caused another confusion, and I want to explain it to you. And again, I first had to say what I said, and I bring this because it should be seen in that context of who we are and who we want to be. Because I have seen some people say, you know, that United Kingdom gave us money and then they want to dump people here. No, we don't do that kind of thing. we don't buy and sell people. We can't do that, again, because of our core values. But I'll tell you what happened, and so that everyone is clear in their minds. In 2018, if many of you may recollect, I was the chair of the African Union. And during that time, so many stories, you know, many young, maybe some of them old Africans were perishing, dying in big numbers in the Mediterranean, being taken through Libya and to many parts of Europe. And I remember reading a story about a Ghanaian young man, an engineer, who happened to be following this path, and there are people, they are smugglers, they have networks who take people from Africa, different parts, and smuggle them into Europe. And that time they were using Libya because of its statelessness. There was confusion, there was no state in control. And in fact, hundreds, if not thousands of them were trapped in Libya in different places in the prisons, starving to death, others abused in all sorts of ways. Some people had started coming, picking some of them and taking them to their countries to use them as slaves. Slaves. And we were somewhere discussing with some of the leaders, and I was telling them, why don't we address this problem? I said, for example, for me, I'm not just going to suggest this theoretically that it can work. I want to even provide an example. I said, let's find ways. If we got all these people trapped in Libya who they can't go back to where they came from, they can't move ahead to Europe where they wanted to go. And I told them, I can assure you, with all our weaknesses and whatever we have in our country, these people, if they were brought to Rwanda, they would live a better life than they are living in Libya, in these prisons. And I said, so if we brought them, then other countries interested in helping in this program, we can do the following. One, we can ask these people whether they want to go back to where they came from, now that they found themselves mistaken and in a very terrible situation in Libya. They may end up wanting to go back home. Because I had read that story of the Ghanaian I was telling you, who was, for him, he was an educated man, young man, but I think illusioned about I think he was an engineer, I read it, but for some reason he wasn't employed. And so the networks that were smuggling people to Europe took him. And when he was in Libya, he got stuck, he found he was not going forward. So he had paid some amount of money which he got from his parents. You remember the story we were talking about, $800 or $900 he had been paying through to these smugglers. And so he started negotiating with the smugglers to take him back, and he would pay the same amount of, again, same amount of money, which means 1,600 or 1,800. But this time he didn't have it. It would be paid when he got back to Ghana by, I think, his parents. So the smugglers took him back. But this is because he discovered there was no way of continuing to Europe. But even if he had reached Europe, by the way, I'm not sure, maybe what he had in mind he would become or was going to be the case. Maybe he was just going to be the same person as he was in Ghana, even in Europe, wherever he would be. He wasn't going to get that good living now. But anyway, so agreed, if they arrived here, they could easily be taken back home if they choose to go back home. Second, those European countries that have allowed migrants to come to Europe should come and stably select those they want to take to their countries, and that would be still better than these people being trapped in Libya. Then third, we provided another option. We said, for those who can't go back, or don't want to go back for some reason of their own, and may not be selected by the countries that want to absorb them, we are giving them another option. We can actually find ways in which they can stay here. There were these three options in 2018. So I think that's how now this new situation developed, with the UK and others contacting us. It's like they learned from this case and said, can we have people processed here stably instead of being smuggled into our countries and doing this and that? And this time, they are not just going to be Africans. They may be, a number of them Africans. They're going to be other people from other countries. We allowed people from Afghanistan to come here. Even now, there are still students who were brought here. They are still staying with us. So I'm saying there are things that have really changed about us. And so I'm saying we don't have to learn values from anybody ourselves. We have values in us that we go by. So we can absorb Afghanistan, people from Afghanistan, from wherever, and if they are from Africa, we are even happier because they are like, we take them like a family. So when the UK approached us, and because of that problem they have, I think they are smuggling people in these countries, left, right, center. So if we could talk about how to deal with that problem, we are happy to deal with that problem. There is, I understand Denmark. So there is nothing bad about this. There is nothing we can't be transparent about this. There is nothing. So this is what it is. So, and this is who we are too. So I wanted to clear this, please. We are not. No. This is why I was saying there are things you can't buy about us. Yes, we are who we are, and we are proud people too. We are not. So we are not involved in buying and selling of people, Rwanda and the UK, or anybody. No, it's just a problem that people will have different views about it. They look at it differently. They know what to happen about it. That's okay. People will look at, but at the end of the day, you've got to do something. You have to decide which way you do, going through different processes, and in fact, in 2014 or 15, I predicted this problem. I don't know if anybody here remembers. I think we were in Amsterdam, and I was addressing Rwandans. It was Rwanda Day. Does anybody remember which year that was? I think it was 2014 or 20. And I told these Rwandans, they had come in the thousands, about 5,000 Rwandans had come from the whole of Europe, and asked them how they had come to Europe. Some of them explained, and I told them, I said, you know what? Some of you came here by telling lies. I said, there are some of you who came genuinely to Europe and were received. I'm happy for you. But there are many of you who told lies. I said, some of you told lies as victims of politics in Rwanda, others. I said, actually, some of you committed crimes in Rwanda. And then you come here as innocent people running away from something, from the evil government of Rwanda. I said, but one time, that's what I told them. I said, one time, this Europe you are taking advantage of. Because I think in Europe, I think you also have some confusion. Because they would, anybody who would, hey, you know, I'm dying, Kagame was going to kill me. They say this is, so in democracy, freedom, you are saving this man. But this man has actually killed people in Rwanda. And he's just telling lies so that he gets to be accommodated in Europe. I told them that time, 2014. I said, one day, Europe will get to know this truth I'm telling you. And they'll come back to be asking each of you, well, how did you come here? And they'll know the truth about you, and they'll pack you in a container or something and send you back. I told them. Does anybody remember that conversation? Yes. I said they will come to know the truth because they have their own problems here as well. They want to manage. I don't think we are going to transfer half of Africa into Europe, and Europe accommodates it and keeps silent. So they wake up and say, what is this? And I told him, I said, by the way, why are you actually going there? Why don't you try and together we do things like they do in Europe where you are running to, so that you stay in your countries. In fact, in that meeting, there were some people, there were some Malians, people from Burkina Faso, and others from Senegal. I remember when it came to Q&A, they were asking me questions. They put up their hands and they told me their stories and how they lived in Europe. In fact, one another person at that time was from Cameroon. He was a doctor. And he told me he had come from Belgium. And he said, you know, I have heard so much about Rwanda. You know, I want to come and work in Rwanda. I'm a medical doctor. He has some good specialty. I said, either I will leave you with a ticket or I bring you on my jet and you go home. And this man has come, by the way. He's here. He's working here now. He's working in King Faisal Hospital. Yes. So there are these things people don't know, don't understand, or don't want to believe, but I thought I needed to say it. Yes, people need to understand us and understand the situation between us and them and others. But and I wanted to emphasize, we learn lessons, we do, but we learn the lessons we have to learn. In fact, I hope in the UK, when they send these people, they should send to us some people they have accommodated for over 15 years who committed crimes here, actually. We sent case files and, you know, investigated. These are clear case files. Yes. Instead of being accommodated in that beautiful place in the UK, actually these people should be in jail, either in the UK or here. But they shouldn't be, because that is for sure. There are about 5 or 6, I don't remember the number. So, and again, to prove to you that we are people really, that people should understand us better. You are aware that even when we were dealing with the worst situation anyone had to deal with, do you remember that is a time we actually abolished death sentence, right? Why could we have done that? You think anybody forced us to do it? Because those who could have forced us, or who sometimes make a mess of things like this, for them they still have death penalty in their laws. They still hang people. And I don't think there is anybody in the world, at that time we abolished the death penalty, had better justification to hang people like we did have justification. Nobody. Yes, we're dealing with mass murderers. So, but realistically, we're even saying, but how do you hang 1,000 people? We said this hanging of people, like some people do, is just, or how do you hang some and leave others when it is the same crime they have committed? So we decided to abolish the death sentence. Isn't this remarkable, in my view, that the people of Rwanda decided that death penalty be abolished at the wrong time? The worst time. This was the time not to do that, because there was urgency to actually hang people for killing our innocent people. So I just say a few. But I thought I needed to offload some of these things on you, and so that they don't remain in my chest. So I'm sure we are better people, we are stronger people, we can be good partners with all of you, those who want us, want partnership in us. We are happy and ready, but I just wanted to be sure that you understand us and the values around which we form partnership be clear. And that's what they are. So we, as some people said, we are going to host the Commonwealth heads of government meeting here in Rwanda, and for those who are members of the Commonwealth, and I wanted to say your country delegations, your leaders, we will do our best to make them feel welcome to Rwanda and for this meeting. And we have a lot to accomplish together. In our case, we always strive to use the resources, limited resources available to us, the best way we can, and get value for our money. So, once again, thank you so much for joining us for this dinner, and I want you to be happy in our country, and as we continue this same journey, we have a lot to do, and for us, again, we've been focusing on how we can make peace and create peace with our neighbors and in our region, and we will continue to do that. But in order to achieve that, we have to build ourselves, build the capacity to deal with anything that would take us back to the bad times of our history, and which we had decided and will never happen again. With so much more put to you than you expected, I thank you and wish you a very happy evening and a happy stay in our country for as long as you have to. And if I may, traditionally, we can have a toast to the good health of our peoples and to more partnerships in the future.